health purpose, though the doctors say it's not good for cholesterol. But believe me, in California, where they're the biggest producers of almonds, they say it's not harmful for cholesterol, and you can surely take almonds. So for this badam barfi, we need 3 ingredients mainly. One is this powdered blanched almonds without skin. This you get very easily in all the supermarkets here in packets of 100 grams, small packets. Second item is sugar, and third is water. We make syrup of sugar and water, and then we put the almonds inside, and we cook it just for a few minutes, and your barfi is set. First of all, we make the syrup. And for syrup, you need 200 grams of sugar. I think it's 200 grams, which you put in the pan. Now you make sure that the pan that you use is heavy bottom. If it's thin bottom, then your sweet will get burned. So whatever pan you use, please make sure that it has a thick base. We take water. Now water is 3/4 of a cup. That means up till here, it's little more than half. Now that we put in the sugar. Now we mix it completely so that the sugar is dissolved. It's very important that you mix the sugar and water before you put it on the stove. Most of the sugar is dissolved. It needn't be completely dissolved, but most of it. Now you put it on the fire, medium fire, and continue stirring it. This is boiling now. Reduce the heat a little and let it simmer like this for at least 4 or 5 minutes. You will have to see till it has reached its right consistency. Make sure that the syrup doesn't get burnt on the sides. Actually, the most important thing is, before you start even making the syrup, you must keep your surface ready for rolling the almond barfi. So you take on a grease-proof paper. If you don't have grease-proof paper, then just use the surface of your kitchen table. Put some butter. And you keep a rolling pin. I'm sure most Indian ladies have this rolling pin for making chapatis. You grease, put some butter on this as well. And you keep it all ready, because once your almond is put in the syrup and it's all set to be put here, it cannot wait even for a second. So you should have all this set before you even start making the syrup. You see, if you are making syrup in very small quantity like this, it gets ready very fast. It would be ready in, I think, 4 minutes or 3 minutes. So you must be very careful about how quickly it gets ready. If you are making in a bigger, larger quantity, then it takes a little longer. So you have to constantly see. Now you see, when it's ready, it starts, if you see the drops, it will start leaving a trail. Yeah, it's ready now. There, it's ready. So you decrease the fire completely. So we have put the almonds, all the almonds inside, and on a very slow fire, you just go on stirring this. Just mix half a teaspoon of butter at this stage and go on stirring. Make sure that it doesn't get stuck at the bottom or on the sides. You see, now it's beginning to set. It's getting thicker. You see, it should not be very sticky. So you have to continue cooking slowly. And at the same time, it should not get too dry also. You switch off the thing, it's ready now. You have to put just a little bit of almond essence, just a few drops. It gives you a strong flavor of almonds if you put almond essence. Now, just put your hand in little butter, press it, and you start rolling it. If it's not ready, it will stick to your rolling pin and it will stick to your hands. And if it's too dry, then you see, you'll find it difficult to roll. It will not roll. So this is the right consistency when you have to take it out, put it on this surface, and start rolling it quickly because it gets dry and it gets set. Now you see, about cooking is one shouldn't get nervous about it. Now if you were making and you found that it has become too dry and you try to roll it and it was all crumbly, you see, like you see on the sides, it gets crumbly because this is drying up, it gets dried. You shouldn't get nervous and think that, oh, it's ruined and the whole thing is spoiled, I can't do anything. Just add a little more water, just maybe 2 teaspoons of water in it, and again put it on the fire. I like to roll mine about this thin. Now in India, we garnish our burfis with what we call the silver paper. Now this is a real silver which has been beaten into really this very, very thin, paper. Now this we use for decorating on our foods, on our sweets and everything. And people, they find it very intriguing, how can you eat silver? But even in our Ayurvedic medicines and all, silver is considered to be good for health, and it's used for medicinal purpose also. So it looks nice, and at the same time it's good for you. So we use it like this. And just remove it. There it is. Now you have to wait. Now you see, this is all dried up. It's even ready to cut. If it's too loose, because mine got dried very fast, but you can put when it's more loose than this, and you roll it, and if you touch and you think it's too loose, you wait for a few minutes till it dries, and then you cut it. Now you just have to cut it into diamond shapes. First you remove the okay. You can cut it in whatever sizes you want. Slowly with a knife you can remove your cookies like this. You see, Badam Barfi is all ready now. And see how simple it is. All that you need is some ground almonds, sugar, and water. All that you have to do is make a syrup out of sugar and put the almonds, cook till they are thickened. You must judge that the syrup is of one thread consistency. That is, when you make a drop, it should leave a trail. Or if you put it on between your thumb and your finger and you press it like this, it should leave a kind of a thread, just one thread. That is the test of good syrup. Okay, we put the final touch. You start by taking 1 cup of ordinary all-purpose flour. That means it should not have any kind of raising ingredients inside, like this, and you put it in the sieve. Then this is the cooking soda, soda bicarbonate. Now it's very important to measure the quantity that you put of this soda, because if it's too much, they're going to break up. If it's too little, then they will not rise. So for this much, you put about half a coffee spoon. Mind you, this is not teaspoon, this is a smaller spoon than teaspoon called coffee spoon. You put just about half. Maybe, well, you can see how much it is. And then you just sieve the flour. Now you put some butter in a pan and you just warm it a little bit. It shouldn't be very hot, but it should be medium hot. Now you measure two tablespoons, 1 and 2. And you mix it with your hand. Mix it completely so that it gets nicely incorporated with the flour. The next step is to take some yogurt, 2 tablespoons of yogurt. In India, we always use homemade yogurt. We'll tell you later during the course of series how to make homemade yogurt. But you can, I suppose, buy the commercially available yogurt as well. In the same pan in which you have heated the butter, just put the yogurt and on a very gentle fire, warm it. Yeah, it's hot enough. It's just melted and it's warm. Now, you put the yogurt Now what you can do is take just very little water and add it in the pan just to rinse it. Just very little. Rinse the pan and put it if you think it's too dry, you can just add a little more yogurt. You see, the dough should be nice and soft. I think it needs to have a little more water or yogurt, just a dash. The dough, when you're mixed, should be like this, soft to the touch and very easy to handle. Now, you have to divide this dough into equal portions, make balls and just flatten them. You take this much dough, now you just press them with your palm like this, and you take a wooden spoon, or you can even take a pencil, and from the back of the pencil or the wooden spoon you hold it like this and you make holes. Now we have to make the syrup. For the syrup, we take 1, 2. I'm taking 3 cups of sugar because I'm making very small quantity. In small quantity, you need syrup for these to soak. So I'm making syrup with 3 cups of sugar. When you are making big quantity, large quantity, you can always do it just with 2 cups of sugar and 1 cup of 1 cup of water. But because it's small quantity, you need more syrup. 3 cups of sugar and half the quantity of sugar you have to put water. So that makes it 1.5 cups of half up till here, and you put half the quantity of water. Now you mix all this. You have to dissolve the sugar completely before you put it on the fire so that the sugar doesn't get caramelized. Okay, sugar has dissolved a little. It needn't be completely dissolved. Now you put it on the fire. It should be medium fire, and you continue stirring it so that it gets dissolved and it comes to a boiling point. See, now the syrup has come to boil. Reduce the heat a little bit. And let it simmer like this for maybe 5 minutes, 4 minutes. We'll have to see later. If it cools, the drop leaves a slight trail. Yeah, it forms a thread. I'll have to close this now. You see, when you put it between your finger, it should make a thread like this. Now, we use a lot of rose water, rose flavoring, and we put a few drops, just a few drops of rose essence. This is rose essence. I get it from India, but I don't know whether it's available in Mauritius. Just put about 7-8 drops of rose essence. Even if you have rose water, you can put a teaspoon of rose water in this. And if you have nothing, no rose water, no essence, then maybe you can just put some rose leaves, which have very strong fragrance and light in color like pink, and just put it few leaves when the syrup is boiled, and then remove them after a while so that it will get some rose flavor. So your syrup is ready. You just remove it. Keep it covered and warm. And now we fry the balushahis. You have to keep this balushahi covered so that it doesn't dry off. Now to test the oil, you put the oil in the kadai. It has to be for deep frying, so the oil should be enough. And it should be hot oil. It shouldn't be very hot when you put the balusha inside. So to test it, you put a small piece, and if it immediately comes up and becomes brown, then oil is very hot. But if it comes up slowly and it still remains light in color, that means the oil is right. It should be really very, very low temperature, low flame. And you put the balushais. Five, 6, 7 at a time. They will rise up to the surface as they get cooked. Remove them with a slotted spoon so that the oil doesn't come with it. Take it in a plate and then just put it in the syrup. They will start absorbing the syrup slowly. You have to leave them in the syrup for a few minutes, about 10 minutes or so. Cover and leave them for 10 minutes till you fry your next lot. Balushahi is best eaten the next day. So you leave in a container, in a pan, covered pan, overnight, and the next day you get a slightly drier version of balushahi, which is this. I made it yesterday so that you have an idea of what it looks like the next day. It should be soft, and at the same time it shouldn't be sticky when you touch it with your hand. Sometimes what happens when you're making, the syrup becomes too dry, it becomes crystallized. So all that you have to do is pour just a little bit of water and heat it, and the syrup will again be back to its normal consistency. Now we decorate normally balushahi again with roses. You take a few petals of roses and you cut them into thin strips. So we take about 100 grams of this very fine, thin, superfine vermicelli, which is brown as you see. Don't buy the non-roasted one. And you break them into 1 inch, you can say, pieces. Now you take some saffron, few strands of saffron, and you soak them in little milk. You soak them and then you crush them so that they get nicely crushed and you get beautiful saffron color. You can crush this saffron in any bowl with the help of the back of a spoon if you don't have this contraption. Now add more milk, about 1/4 cup, and you keep this ready. Now in a pan you take 5 tablespoons of either ghee or melted butter. Then you see this is all broken into small bits. Put the sevaiyan, so you see, you just very lightly fry them. That means just for about 2-3 minutes, because as you see, it starts changing color little bit, and it also starts smelling roasted. That means when you roast something with ghee or butter, you get that smell. Now, as you know they're roasted, you add two and a half cups of warm water. Stir it properly. Bring it to boil. It's beginning to boil, and you see they are also getting cooked at the same time. Just cover it for a few minutes and lower the heat. Okay. You just cover it for literally 2-3 minutes just to give them a steam. And you increase the fire a little and dry the water. Water should be completely dried before you put the sugar in it. Now you add the sugar, which is 150 grams. 100 grams of vermicelli and 150 grams of sugar. This is going to give some liquid because as sugar melts, there's bound to be some liquid. As you see now that they begin to dry, not completely. At this stage, you add this saffron flavored milk. If you don't have saffron, you can just put plain milk. Mix it properly. So you see it's dried now. Don't let it dry further, otherwise they'll become hard. You put about half a coffee spoon of cardamom powder and stir it well. Close it, switch off the fire, cover it, and keep it covered like this for at least 10 minutes till it cools down. You will see that they have dried up nicely and risen. Serve it on a platter. Okay. Decorate it with chopped almonds. If you have silver paper, as I said, we get it from India, but if you have it, use it on the mithai. In India, we always decorate a mithai with a real silver paper. Looks beautiful, and silver is good for health, they say.
Now I'm going to show you the recipe of stuffed Karela. You can see the ingredients are totally different from the normal what I've been showing about the Indian cuisine. Now we have chopped onions, chopped garlic and chopped ginger. Then we have sour curd. You can have plain curd for that. Then powder coriander. We have mangrela and we have methi. Then salt, red chili and cumin seeds and haldi for your, according to your taste, whatever you like. The quantity you can of course make it less or more. And this is the Karela. Now first of all you must peel the Karela, which I'm going to show it. After peeling it, we must slit it from the center like this. Since we are making stuffed Karela, we must remove the seeds. It's easy to remove with the spoon. Before that, I must put salt and keep it overnight so that the bitterness of the Karela will be washed out. And next morning, when you see, it will be a bit softer and it won't be as bitter as we have it the day we peel it. Now in curd you add the chopped onions, for at least 7 to 8 Karelas I have taken 2 onions, garlic, this should be also finely chopped, and chopped ginger. Mix it well in the curd. Say 10 flakes of garlic will be enough, and 2 inches of ginger. Now you put salt according to your taste. Haldi, say half a teaspoon. Red chili, and cumin seeds. Now we add 2 teaspoons of coriander powder, quarter of methi, and quarter of mangrela. Mix it well. So now I've shown you, this is the way we fill the Karela. Tie it with a thread so that the filling doesn't come out. So you can see all the Karelas are well stuffed. So you heat the oil in the pressure cooker. Add the leftover sauce mixed with all the spices, ginger, garlic, and the curd mixture. Stir it a bit. And let it cook just for 5 minutes. When it is boiling, put the Karela one by one in the pressure cooker. You can see the sauce is enough for 7-8 Karelas. You can put the fire a little high. Don't stir too hard because the Karela can break. Just mix it well. And then put the pressure. Cover it and put the pressure on it. And now after 7 or 8 minutes, just open the pressure cooker lid. Have a look. Yes, it is ready. And you can serve it now. You can serve with puri. Mostly in Uttar Pradesh, people have it this with puri and rice. And before serving, you must remove the thread. Namaste. Today I am going to show you how to make rajma curry. We have to take rajma, that is called red beans in English. You take 1 small bowl of rajma, soak it overnight, and next morning you see they are well soaked and they are ready for cooking. First of all, you take oil, 2 big spoons of oil, and heat it. Take chopped onions, 2 medium-sized chopped onions, and put it in the hot oil. Fry them till they are brown.
I suppose you can use the pressure cooker directly for For the onions and for frying the onions?
Yes, normally we use the pressure cooker, but today because of the program and for the viewers, I am showing it in the pan, and later on we will transfer it in the pressure cooker for the rajma to be well cooked. We keep stirring it so that they don't burn, and once the color changes into brown, you add garlic, ginger and green chili paste in it. We add 2 tablespoons of garlic ginger paste. Mix it well. Since the onion takes long to cook, so we first fry the onions in the oil and then we add the paste of garlic and ginger. You can see the color has changed. It has become golden brown.